Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So a report came out this morning from The Athletic regarding the New York Jets, basically saying that a ton of free agents said no to the team, right? They opted to go elsewhere. They turned the Jets down, in other words. So I have the report pulled up right here, and I wanted to go through it piece by piece and just give you guys my take, share my thoughts and opinions, and I would love to hear yours down below in the comment section. So let's jump right into this thing. Okay, so the report starts off by saying an NFL executive told The Athletic that the Jets were in on a ton of guys and got nobody, including Tyreek Hill, who chose the Dolphins over the Jets when Kansas City, granted him a trade. Now, I get it, right? That's a fair argument, right? The Chiefs accepted the Dolphins offer. The Chiefs accepted the Jets offer. It was up to Hill to choose between Miami or the Jets. But let's be honest, these two teams are in completely different situations. The Jets are still rebuilding. The Dolphins, although they hired a new coach, this is a team that's shooting for the playoffs, right? They just made Xavier Howard the highest paid cornerback in the league. They brought in Armstead from the New Orleans Saints. This is a team that won a lot of football games last year. They have a lot of positions figured out. Again, Mike McDaniel walking in, rookie head coach, I get it, but the Dolphins are primed to win a lot of games. Tyreek Hill also has connections to Florida, so it's not really like a 50-50 split. Not to mention the Dolphins also gave him over $72 million in guarantees. Okay, so yes, Hill picked the Dolphins over the Jets, but I don't think it's humiliating. I don't think it's embarrassing. I mean, it's kind of one of those obvious choices. Tyreek Hill, again, highest paid wide receiver in football, has connections to the state, wanted to be in Florida, works out in Florida, and the team is set up for a better 2022 season as far as the wins are concerned. Okay, so I'm looking at that situation. It's unfortunate that we didn't land a Tyreek Hill, but I'm not aggravated or frustrated with the front office that they couldn't get it done. I was actually pumped up that this front office actually was aggressive in the pursuit of a superstar player. So, I think that Tyreek Hill, I think that whole point, yes, it's true. Yes, it does back the argument. But the Dolphins and the Jets are on two different levels right now, and the Jets are clearly the rebuilding team where the Dolphins are shooting for the playoffs. So it's not the end of the world by any means. Okay, so the next section of the report are basically just a couple of quotes. They don't have a selling point to players right now, the executive said. People don't know what to think of Zach Wilson. Players don't necessarily covet playing in that market, and guys who have choices tend to wind up elsewhere. They are in this weird purgatory. Okay, I understand the Zach Wilson part. Young quarterback, didn't really have a super successful rookie season. Going into year two, what do you make of him? Also missed some time his rookie year. I get it. Also with the track record of Jets quarterbacks, I understand that angle. But the second part here, talking about, players don't necessarily covet playing in that market and they wind up elsewhere and they're in a weird purgatory. Let's talk about the purgatory part first. When I think about that word, I think of being stuck somewhere, right? Being stuck in the middle, not really a playoff contender. You're not really rebuilding. You're kind of stuck like the Bears. That's like the first team that comes to mind. You don't really have any sort of direction. I think the Jets have a clear direction, right? This is a young team. Of course, they lost a bunch of games, but the youth, the injuries played a huge part in that back last year. Okay, Saleh, first time. Mike LaFleur, first time calling plays, first time developing a rookie quarterback, first time installing an offense. Zach Wilson, first time seeing NFL defenses, okay? We had a bunch of free agents, but a ton of them got hurt. Corey Davis, Carl Lawson, Mekhi Becton, star left tackle out for the year. There was a lot of adversity last year for this Jets team, and I don't think we're stuck in some weird purgatory. I don't think that this Jets team is delusional. I don't think they're gunning to make a deep playoff push. I think they're sticking to the plan and they're not trying to rush the process. So I disagree with the purgatory part. And to address the first part where players don't necessarily covet playing in that market, and if they have a choice they wind up playing elsewhere, I disagree with that. That when I read that statement, it leads me to believe that the Jets signed one guy. They added one rotational piece, a depth player. That's not the case. They went out and they added Laken Tomlinson, okay, one of the best guards in football, a guy that has played in a Super Bowl, tons of success with San Francisco. They added CJ Uzomah, a guy who played in the Super Bowl last season. They added Jordan Whitehead, a young emerging safety from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that they wanted to keep around. They just couldn't afford it. A guy that's won the Super Bowl. Okay, DJ Reed, same situation as Whitehead, a young ascending player that fits the system really, really well. The original team, the Seattle Seahawks, wanted to keep DJ Reed, but the Jets managed to pry him away. Okay, we didn't even talk about Tyler Conklin, a guy who has won a lot of games coming off the best season of his career in Minnesota. We managed to keep our backup quarterback situation the same as last year. You know, that's a tough sell to bring back two backup quarterbacks, guys that know they are probably going to be playing, Joe Flacco and Mike White. I don't like the narrative that the Jets are in purgatory, right? That we have no direction, that we're stuck in the middle, and that we can't land free agents, because the Jets came away with a pretty nice haul, in my opinion. Okay, I know we didn't go out and sign, you know, the JC Jacksons of the world. I know we didn't bring in a Carlton Davis. I know we didn't, you know, trade for Khalil Mack or, you know, have some blockbuster, humongous splash signing. I get that, but that's not really Joe Douglas's style. Will it work? That only time will tell, but I just don't really feel like it's fair to say that if players have a choice, they tend to wind up elsewhere, just because that was simply not the case this past March. It just wasn't. Again, I understand the first part, maybe not wanting to link up with a rookie quarterback that wasn't, you know, too statistically impressive his first season. I understand it. I get it. But that second part, I just can't buy into it. So the final section of this report here basically lists off some of the free agents that we just talked about. Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzomah, Laken Tomlinson, and Jordan Whitehead, calling them second and third tier free agents. I don't know. I just can't really get behind that statement for all of those players. Some of them, yeah, I agree, but not all of them. Moreover, while failing to land a splash free agency signing despite plenty of cap space, an improved performance from Zach Wilson in 2022 would go a long way in luring a big-name free agent to the Jets next offseason. I agree with that last statement. Okay, obviously, you could say that with any team. At the NFL level, you know, if Jared Goff has a big season next year, players are going to be looking at Detroit. Hey, maybe I can go link up with Goff. If Justin Fields goes, you know, just takes off next season, same kind of deal here. So I get that last part, but to call all of those free agents second and third tier, or to call all those players second and third tier free agents, to me, it just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't really, maybe it's because I'm an optimistic Jet fan, but, you know, these are all guys that I remember vividly back with their original teams in previous seasons. I don't think these guys are, yeah, they're not top 5 players in football. They're not Aaron Donald. Yes, the Jets didn't acquire Aaron Rodgers, but, you know, again, I think it's almost like looking yourself in the mirror. Who are the Jets, right? This is a team that finished as a bottom 5 team in football. They're in the thick of a rebuild. They have a head coach and offensive coordinator going into year 2. They have a quarterback going into year 2. I think that understanding that this is a rebuilding football team, you know, it's been reported, it has been well documented that Joe Douglas is trying to build this organization up through the draft. He's not trying to do any sort of quick fixes. He's not trying to build this team like the LA Rams, where it's trade away the entire farm system and acquire the superstar players, and let's get Von Miller, let's get Odell, let's get Jalen Ramsey, let's get Stafford, and it's just star. It worked for him, great. LA just coming off a Super Bowl, but the Jets and the Rams are in two completely different situations. Okay, so for a rebuilding football team, I thought I know the Jets had the fallout with Tyreek Hill. I know we didn't land Amari Cooper, and I know we haven't really addressed every single position, but for a rebuilding football team, I like where we stand. I really do. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.